Hey guys! So since it's now the beginning of August, I'm starting to see a lot of posts and things on social media about back to school. Also, if you go to any stores, there are school supplies already set out and everything. So school is definitely starting soon, and here it doesn't start for another month or so. For most schools, I think, but some people start in August, and so it made me think a little bit about homeschooling. So I wanted to share a little bit about our curriculum and I guess sort of my thoughts on homeschooling, what we're going to be doing. So Zach is going to be 4 in October, so if he were going into a public school, he wouldn't make the cutoff probably for 4K if our district even has it, and next year he wouldn't make the cutoff for kindergarten, so we'd have to wait 2 more years anyway to put him in public school. But since we're homeschooling, we can start the learning whenever. I mean, kids are always learning, but for schooling, we can start that whenever we want with homeschooling. I'm part of 2 groups on Facebook about homeschooling and support for that and resources and things. So those groups have been really helpful in me learning from experienced moms and dads who have been homeschooling for longer than me, or who've gone through it already, or even parents who are at the same stage or a little bit earlier than me who are asking questions that maybe I didn't think of. So these groups are really great for information and support. So I know when I first thought about homeschooling, I was really excited to get started right away. And I think Zach was about 2 when I decided to homeschool, or when I was pretty sure we were going to be homeschooling. So I started collecting workbooks, I started collecting educational materials, things we could use while we're learning. And I even bought Sunday school curriculum from Answers in Genesis that I'm planning on using as our Christian curriculum. And we've already been using that for a while, but we pretty much just flip through the book and talk about what we see on the pages, and then we sing a song and we pray, and that's it. So it is really nice to have anyway, the way we use it, but eventually we will use it probably more the way it's intended to be used, with the workbook and reading questions and having Zach answer back to me and things like that. But for now, I think the way we do it is actually probably perfect for his age. So now that I've learned a lot more about homeschooling, I've learned that we really shouldn't think of homeschooling as public schooling at home. So I really had to readjust the way I think about homeschooling and what that looks like. It really looks entirely different to public school. Because I was in the public school system, that's how I've always thought of learning, is just you learn from this time to this time, you break for lunch, then you do another 3 to 4 hours, and then you stop learning. So I figured that's how homeschooling worked. You start at the same time every day or around the same time, you do your work, you stop for lunch, you do more work, your day's over. But that's not how homeschooling has to work. And so I think that's really cool that homeschooling really can fit into your lifestyle, and it can be something where really the main goal is to teach kids to continue learning throughout their whole life. So I haven't picked a curriculum style yet with Zach, or with all the kids. I'm kind of leaning towards either Charlotte Mason or classical conversations, I think. But I haven't decided which one of those I want to do. But right now, with Zach being so little and Adeline being so little, but I'm not really worried about school with her yet, I kind of am leaning more towards unschooling for this little stage, toddler preschool stage, because it just makes sense to me. So I never liked the idea of unschooling. I thought, how can a kid lead their learning? Unschooling, you take a child's interest and you just go with it until they until they pick a new subject, and then you focus on that entirely. So I've done that a lot with Zach. He loves trains, and we have done so much with trains. We do train track building, we use chalk and draw trains, we do art projects with trains and Play-Doh, and we've ridden on trains, and we did Day Out with Thomas. He loves clocks. We did a ton with clocks. He loves bells. Big Ben was a big thing. We just totally immersed ourselves in Big Ben and learning about Big Ben, YouTube videos. So since 4 years old is pretty little, I'm planning on not doing any curriculum. I'm not going to be looking into any curriculum this year at all. We're pretty much just going to stick with what we've been doing, playing, exploring, building with blocks, doing arts and crafts, Play-Doh, and then when we can get outside, you know, as it gets colder and colder, which it's summer now, which is nice, but as it's gonna get colder, and so we'll get outside when we can, and that's really all 4-year-olds need, is to just play and learn through their world. And I guess another thing I do is I just ask him questions. If we're going to be going to the zoo, I'll ask him what kind of animals are at the zoo. You know, what do you think the animals eat? Or when we're at the zoo, you know, we see the elephants. What are the elephants doing? You know, do you remember what their long nose is called? I just let him kind of answer, and he can give me the correct answer, he can give me the wrong answer. You know, I may correct him, like if I ask him what the elephant's nose is called, if he gives me the wrong answer, I might say, oh, it's called a trunk, remember? But if I ask Zach a question about an animal like a hippo that's in the water and it's just hanging out there, and I say, like, what's the hippo doing? And he'll say, he's sleeping. Well, whether the hippo is sleeping or not, that doesn't matter. You know, yeah, he's sleeping there, you know, or oh yeah, that's what he's doing. Because it doesn't matter. He's thinking, he's formulating responses to my questions and thinking about what the answer is, and that's all I'm asking for. So that is kind of how I look at homeschooling with Zach for this year, and maybe even for next year. The only like curriculum type things that I will do with them is sometimes if we read a book, then I do an activity to go along with the book, and Zach really loves that. So one book we did was Blueberries for Sal, and then I got some of like that Easter grass and put blue pom-poms in the Easter grass, and then I gave him a bucket and he would pick his blueberries out of the grass. And so that was kind of like playing off the book, and then I just kind of let him do free play, and he would go like kerplink, kerplink, kerplunk, just like in the book. So he's retaining things that he learned from the book and putting it into this play. And then we're probably going to focus on the alphabet a little bit. I don't know if we'll do a letter a week or something like that, but we may do like activities. I want to start working on the alphabet so that he can start seeing words put together and things like that. I'm not gonna be forcing the subject of reading. He hasn't shown any interest in learning how to read, really, but we're definitely going to be doing a lot of reading, and Zach loves to read, so does Adeline. So we're going to be doing lots and lots of reading and lots of play and arts and crafts and building, things like that. And really anything that they're interested in, we'll kind of just go with it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Alright, bye guys!